mentioned this earlier in the week when we got word from Philadelphia of the passing of a Cork woman, a great Cork woman called Mary Steed. And I dug this out just for the sake of the 2 minutes it'll take. Mary Steed was, of course, one of the great activists for Magdalene's and adoptee rights and Besborough, the Besborough baby. She was a Besborough baby. In fact, she was born Mary Trace Fitzpatrick in Besborough in 1960 and adopted to the US when she was 18 months old. And she traced and found her mom, Josie, in the mid-noughties. I met the two of them together. Then she revealed, because she got her medical records, she revealed that she'd been given experimental vaccines while she was at Besborough. We broke that story, the three of us. She was the co-founder of Justice for Magdalene's Research, of Adoption Rights Alliance. She was US coordinator for the Banished Babies Group. She was US coordinator for the Adopted People's Association for years. She was vice president of Bastard Nation. And she worked tirelessly for over 30 years to help unite people separated by adoption and by closed systems. Her life will be celebrated on the 9th of November at the Irish Centre in Philadelphia. And then there will be events here in the new year, because the plan for her family is to bring her back here and inter her ashes with Josie back in Ireland. But Mary's last appearance of many appearances on the opinion line was in early 2021. And she was responding to the report of the Commission on the Mother and Baby Homes. And she had taken part in those discussions. And as always, this was her last appearance. As always, Mary did not pull her punches.
A shambles of a report, and it's sad to say that I am not surprised. Shifting blame away from the state onto the orders and society and the general culture at the time, that's pretty disgraceful. The constant reference to these were not forced adoptions. We're talking about women who had no other choice. So what do you call that besides forced, if there is no other alternative? No evidence of abuse. If you have a death rate of 86% in 1 year in Besborough, how is that not abuse?
You gave personal testimony, of course, on behalf of yourself and your late mom, Josie. Do you see what you said reflected, and more importantly, reflected properly?
I do see some of it reflected, but again, it's that dichotomy. For example, the vaccine trials, which, as you know, I was part of the 60-61 trials. On the one hand, they're admitting this was an egregious breach of, best practice, ethical practice. It was wrong. There was no consent. And then they go on to say, but we could not find evidence that there were any ill effects for any of the participants. How can you say that? No one ever followed up with my adoptive parents or me after I was sent to the States to see if I'd had any ill effects. Nobody bothered to follow up. So how can you say we found no evidence?
It was you and I and Josie, God be good to her, who broke the story many, many years ago. Do you feel she would be satisfied?
Not in any way, shape or form, no.
There you go. That was she never held back, did my friend Mary, who passed away just at the weekend after a very short but very serious illness. She was 64. She was a legend, and she'll be remembered for many a long day. And in 2025, when it comes to the Best Book commemoration, we will remember her in some special way.